Hey everybody, Lance from Permanent Records here to give you a breakdown of all the amazing stuff we have going on at the Roadhouse this weekend. First of all, my apologies. I've been so busy I haven't even had a chance to shave in the last day or so, but rest assured, I will get clean shaven before I show up at the Roadhouse this weekend. First and foremost, today brings us the very first legitimate vinyl reissue of the Joe Pritchard and Gibraltar record, originally released in a minute edition of 1,000 copies back in 1974. This is a St. Louis, Missouri record, a really killer hard rock reissue featured in the Acid Archives by Joe Pritchard on saxophone. He wrote a lot of the material on this, played sax, played a little bit of keys as well, and he's backed by the band Gibraltar, who had a career in their own right. Joe Pritchard funded the entire recording of this. He was an activist and an educator back in the day, and he put together an absolutely amazing statement, a political statement of a hard rock record. There's elements of blues rock on this, a little bit of prog, there's a coda at the end of the album, a 2.5 minutes or so coda that's just layered synthesizers and saxophone. And it's just absolutely amazing. There's parts of this record that remind me of James Gang. Some of it reminds me of Led Zeppelin. Some of it reminds me of Pink Floyd. It's just absolutely amazing, unsung classic rock from the golden age of classic rock. This is what could have been, should have been, and would have been a staple on the radio back in the day if the circumstances were different. And you can get a copy of this now for 25 bucks on our website, permanentrecordsla.com. Original copies of this have sold for over $400, so get yourself a reissue and spare yourself the trouble of trying to find an original pressing, because they are wicked hard to find. Also out today, I should say that out tomorrow, but up on our website today is this killer new compilation. This is the first release of its kind and the first release on a brand new LA-based record label called Slouch Records. This record is called, as you can see, Permanent Fixtures. It's called that because it is comprised of contemporary bands who are fixtures at the Permanent Records Roadhouse. Bands that have played the Roadhouse numerous times, including some live recordings from their performances at the Roadhouse, including an exclusive previously unreleased track by the OCs at Permanent Records Roadhouse. On here also are local stalwarts like Grady Strange, Rod Work, El Como, Babe Ruthless, Sonic Blossoms, LaPaine, Ugbogo, Suburban John, which is Suburban John of the Suburban Lawns, if you didn't already know. Preaching to the choir, I know. The Intelligence, The Other Dante doing a really killer Gene Summers cover, Pow, Self-Improvement, Ugg, and the almighty Zigzags. My buddy Tommy and I worked on this together. It's on his label, and we have copies of this now up on our website, permanentrecordsla.com, as I previously mentioned. But more importantly, maybe not more importantly, but just as important, we have the record release show for the Permanent Fixtures album tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday, February 1st, from 6 p.m. until midnight. I think there's 7 acts playing. Tommy and Nick from Frankie and the Witchfingers and Slaughterhouse will be DJing. Some of the bands on the bill are El Como, Babe Ruthless, LaPaine, Ugbogo. Who else is playing? Dante is going to be playing as well. I can't even remember all the names of the artists, but that flyer's up on our website, and that is permanentrecordsroadhouse.com. The show, all those bands, it's just 20 bucks, and you can get tickets now on our website, permanentrecordsroadhouse.com. Yeah, I'll be there hanging out. It's going to be a really good time. In fact, I'll be at the Roadhouse all weekend from noon until at least 5 or 6 p.m. On Saturday, I'll be there much later, of course, to sell you. I am the official brown acid dealer, obviously. To sell you brown acid records and anything else that you might be looking for. I'm always happy to make recommendations, like this recently repressed 12th trip of Brown Acid. This is backed by popular demand. It's been pressed once before, maybe twice, and now it's back in print on what I'm calling the purple flame colored vinyl. There are only 300 copies of this color variant, and they are in stock now on our website and will be in the store this weekend, right alongside all the other Brown Acid records and all the other records we've released on Permanent Records and that I've done the A&R for Writing Easy on. And last but not least, we have a very special event happening on Sunday evening from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Roadhouse. We're doing our very first ever crate swap. This is basically a BYO record swap. You're more than welcome to bring up to 1 crate worth of records to buy, sell. Well, you wouldn't buy them from yourself, but to sell or trade. And everyone else is more than welcome to do that as well. It's basically a DIY low-key record fair where you don't have to have a whole table worth of merchandise to set up at. And you can bring nothing and just come to buy from other folks or just come to hang out. Basically, I'm always trying to curate events for the vinyl community at the Roadhouse because I, myself, am part of the vinyl community and I like to bring people together as much as possible. We do so many live shows at the Roadhouse that there's very rarely time that we can dedicate to special events like this. So we're going to do the very first crate swap at the Roadhouse this Sunday, February 2nd from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So come one, come all, as long as you're 21 or older, have a drink, buy, sell, and trade records. Bring 1 record, bring 100 records. Don't bring more than 100 records because this isn't a proper record swap. It costs nothing to enter. You don't have to rent a table or pay a fee to sell at this event. You just low-key bring some records that you're looking to sell or trade. Have an idea of what you'd like to get for them, because going into it with that in mind is probably a good idea. If not, we can use our phones, look things up online and stuff to make sure everybody's getting a fair shake. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to drop me a line via DM or email and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. See y'all at the Roadhouse this weekend. Thank you. Have a great one.